welcome to online biology classes. So today is the last video in which we are going to finish the second chapter, that is reproduction in flowering plants. Clear? So today some small topics are there. So under the post-fertilization structure and event, one more structure we are going to cover, that is the fruit. Clear? After that one, apomixis and polyembryony, and importance of apomixis we are going to cover. So up till here, whatever the topics we covered under this heading, post-fertilization structure and event. First we covered the endosperm. So it is a nutritive tissue which will provide the nourishment for the developing embryo. Under that one, free nuclear endosperm we covered, cellular endosperm we covered. Yes. So this is a triploid in nature. It is a product of triple fusion. Next one we covered embryo. So this is a diploid in nature. So after syngamy or the generative fertilization, the zygote develop into embryo. So under that one we covered the proembryo structure, globular embryo, heart-shaped embryo. After that one means the monocot embryo and dicot embryo in detail structure we covered one. The embryo is there. Clear? Next one we covered the seed. So this is the end product of sexual reproduction. So seeds are nothing but the fertilized ovule. So seed consists of the seed coat, cotyledons and embryonal axis. So based on the presence or absence of the endosperm, seeds are either albuminous or exalbuminous seeds. Here, the important seeds also we covered. That is the important 3 marks question. Now last topic, that is nothing but fruit. Hannu. Clear? So this is also the end product of sexual reproduction. So after double fertilization, the ovule is transformed into the seed and ovary is converted into the fruit. Clear? So fruit is the end product of sexual production. This is also end product of sexual reproduction. But whether this condition is applicable to all plants or not, it is a matter of question. Clear? Whether the all fruits are product of sexual reproduction or not. Here we are going to cover. So this is the end product of sexual reproduction. Now in most of the cases, clear, means type of fruit means after fertilization, ovule is transformed into seed and ovary is transformed into fruit. Yes, this is a major rule. Means fruit always produced from the ovary. Clear? So based on the environment, means the type of development, 3 types of fruits are covered. First one is true fruit. True fruit means in most of the cases fruit develops from only from ovary. Such fruits are true fruit. Example, so when you take the mango is a true fruit. So after fertilization, ovary transform into fruit. When you take the mango, in that one only one seed is there. Clear? So the structure of mango already we covered in the first year. Clear? So this is a true fruit. Next one is false fruit. Means this is a true fruit, actual fruit. False fruit means this is a pseudo. Clear? What happened in this case? In some plant, try to understand this one. Thalamus also contributes in fruit formation. Such fruits are false fruit. Clarify now. So here in true fruit, in most of the cases, fruit develop only from the ovary. Only from the ovary. Clear? So other floral parts either degenerate and they fall. Clear? Calyx, corolla, then anther, stigma, style, everything wither. Clear? Only the ovary will transform into the fruit. Such fruits are called as the true fruit. But here definition is a little bit confusing. So in some plant, thalamus also contribute, means also means what? Along with thalamus other parts are involved, means actually ovary will transform in fruit. In that one thalamus is also included. Thalamus also contribute in the fruit formation. Such fruits are called as false fruit. For example, so 3 examples are mentioned in the textbook. Example such as a apple, then after cashew, then strawberry. So when you observe the apple, so this is a typical apple. Clear? So inside the seeds are there and it is covered by the some layers. Clear? So whatever the edible portion is present, this is nothing but the thalamus. Thalamus means the portion of the flower which is present just below the ovary. So this edible portion is the thalamus. When you take the cashew nut, in cashew nut also this is the thalamus. Below to that one, this is the actual fruit. Into that one seed is there. So this is the thalamus. So now see that. In some plant, thalamus also contribute in the fruit formation. Such fruits are called false fruit. You can define this in another way. If the fruit form in the fruit means in which along with ovary, if other floral parts also involved, such fruits are called as a false fruit. So for example, apple, cashew nut, cashew and the strawberry, these are the false fruit. So all these are formed only after the sexual reproduction. One more type of fruit is given, that is third one. Parthenocarpic fruit. This is the third type. Parthenocarpic means in some cases fruit is formed but without fertilization. Clear? So these means actually in most of the cases fruit is the end product of sexual reproduction. But in some cases fruit is formed but without fertilization. So such fruits are called the parthenocarpic fruit. Example, banana. So this type of fruit can be developed by applying growth hormones, and usually these are seedless fruit. For example, if you take the banana, in that one seed is missing. So if the fertilization will not take place, so seed will not form, the fruit is seedless only. So parthenocarpic fruit means if the fruit develop without following the fertilization event, such fruits are called as a parthenocarpic fruit. For example, if you take the grapes also, so grapes also seedless one. So these are the parthenocarpic fruit. So roughly three types of fruits are there. True fruit, if the fruit develop only from the ovaries, such fruits are called the true fruit. False fruit means if the fruit develop from ovary plus any other floral parts. In textbook what they given, thalamus also contribute in the fruit formation. Such fruits are called as a false fruit. Example, apple, cashew and strawberry. Whatever the portion we are eating in the apple, that is nothing but the thalamus. Even if you take the cashew, this is the thalamus one. Strawberry is also thalamus part only. In that one, complete inflorescence is involved one. Parthenocarpic means in this one, fertilization process will not occur. So straightway, only the stimulus is necessary. In some cases, hormones also, growth hormones is responsible for the production of parthenocarpic fruit. Usually these are the seedless fruit. If the fertilization will not take place, seeds are not visible in this fruit one. So these are the fruit. Now some basic question may arise. If you take the fruits one, some fruits are fleshy fruit, means fleshy fruits means, for example, if you take the mango, orange, even pomegranate, so in that one water content is maximum. These are the fleshy fruit. Clear? So actual classification of fruit is very interesting and very vast one. We are covering only briefly. The fleshy fruit means mango, citrus fruit, orange, even lemon one. Dry fruit means, for example, if you take the groundnut, even almond. So these are the dry fruit. Clear? So here water content is very minimum. So they are not fleshy one. So fleshy fruit, dry fruit, two types of fruits are mentioned in the textbook. So some basic question will arise. So when you take the mango, this contains only one seed. The number of seeds may vary from the species to species. When you take the lemon, almost 7 to 8 seeds are present. But in some species, for example, if you take the orchids, thousands of seeds are present and the size of the seed is very, very tiny. Here, similarly, when you take the orobank and the striga, so these are the parasitic plant. In that one, thousands of seeds are present. Even if you take the ficus, which is a hypanthodium inflorescence, so anjir, clear? In that one, very tiny seeds are there. Can you imagine from that tiny seed, if you take the seeds of the ficus, these are very small. From that small seed, the gigantic plant will arise. Clear? So major question will arise. How many eggs are present in the embryo sac? For example, this is the embryo sac. Clear? Usually what we see, this is the antipodal cell, this is the egg, and these are the synergid, and this is the central cell with the pollen. In this case, only one egg is there. Yes? Sometimes the number of eggs may vary. How many eggs are present in the embryo sac? How many embryo sac present inside this ovule? Yes? And how many ovules are present inside this ovary? And how many ovaries are present inside the flower one? So based on this one, number of seed, number of fruit, number may vary. Clear? So this is about the fruit. Now one more topic is that is the apomixis and polyembryony. We will cover and we will finish this chapter with a short pause. Yes, student, we are at the end of this chapter. Last topic, that is apomixis and polyembryony. So up till we covered the post-fertilization structure and event, and that one endosperm, embryo, fruit and the seed we covered here. Now apomixis means, first try to understand. So the first one, seed is the product of sexual reproduction or product of fertilization. It is compulsory. So if the fertilization will not take place, seed formation will not occur. But when you take the fruit one, sometime due to the parthenocarpy, seedless fruits are produced. In that one, seed is missing. So apomixis means apomixis. This is phenomena. It is a process in which seeds are formed but not by seeds are formed without fertilization. So definition is easy, but it is difficult to visualize how it is happening. The seeds are formed without fertilization. Clear? So what happened in fertilization process, double fertilization, two male gametes are entered into the embryo sac, one male gamete fused with the secondary nucleus, and that results into primary endosperm cell that in future develop into endosperm. Yes, one more male gamete fused with the egg and form into diploid zygote, and that zygote develop into embryo. Clear? If this everything occur properly, that complete ovule turn into seed after fertilization. But what happened here? The seeds are formed without fertilization. Yes. So examples means, so this phenomena is seen in family Asteraceae or in some grasses, Asteraceae and few grasses. So how it happened? First possibility, what they told, so seeds may develops from diploid egg. Yes, now try to understand. So this is a normal case where the antipodal cells are there. This is the egg which is a product of meiosis, and these are the synergid with the filiform apparatus with the nucleus. If you take any cells of this embryo cell, whether it is the antipodal cell, egg or the synergid, all cells are haploid in nature. Synergid also is haploid, egg is also haploid, antipodal cells are haploid, central cell contain the N plus N 2 nucleus. So these are all haploid only. This is a product of meiosis, means when you take the megasporogenesis, megaspore mother cell undergo meiosis and produce 4 functional megaspore. Out of that one, only one megaspore undergo 3 repeated mitotic division and produce 7-celled 8 nucleus embryo cell. Clear? So this is a normal. But what they told, the seeds may develop from the diploid egg. Diploid egg means, so this embryo sac formation will not take place. So this is a megaspore mother cell. It will not undergo meiosis and it develop into egg. So this megaspore mother cell is a diploid. If the meiosis is missing, so this turn into diploid egg. Clear? This diploid egg directly develop into seed. So here fertilization is also missing, meiosis also missing. So directly diploid egg develop into seed one. This is one piece. Clear? So this is one possibility, either from the diploid egg. Second possibility, some cells of nucellus develop into embryo, and this embryo further develop into the seed one. So in this case, the nucellus cell, so this is the ovule. If you take the anatropozoid, so these are the integument. Yes, just below that one, the massive nucellus is there. So this is a nutritive tissue. Nucellus is there. Inside to that one, embryo sac is there. Yes. So in this case, some of the nucellus cell enter into the embryo sac and they produce the embryo. So actually, this egg after fertilization develop into embryo. So this nucellus cell produces the extra embryo. So in both cases, this nucellus also is a diploid one. So directly from this nucellus, again seed is formed. Clear? For example, the example like you take the orange or even lemon. If you observe this one, if you extract the seed from this orange or lemon one, if you cut that seed, in that one, instead of one embryo in embryo sac, large number of embryos present. So actually embryo develop from this egg. So usually normal cases only one embryo should be present in this embryo sac. But what happened in this case? This is the embryo sac. This is the egg. After fertilization, this will develop into actual embryo. But what happened? Whatever the nucellus cell present surrounding this one, embryo sac, some of the nucellus cell will protrude and produce the embryo. So in this embryo sac, more than one embryo present. This can be seen in the orange and even the lemon also. Sometimes if you take the seed from this orange, it is proved that sometimes more than 35 to 40 embryo may be present in the seeds of this embryo. So this is a apomixis. Means what happened? Apomixis means it is a type of asexual reproduction which mimic the sexual reproduction. So actually the formation of seed without following the fertilization event, that is actual asexual reproduction. Here gametogenesis is missing, fertilization is missing. So but this will mimic the sexual reproduction. Clear? So ultimately whatever the embryo produces, that is seed is produced, that is a diploid. Clear? So in this case, both meiosis and fertilization will not take place. So in apomixis, meiosis and fertilization is missing. Now try to understand this event. So this is a diploid cell. It undergo meiosis and produce the haploid cells. So these are nothing but the gametes here. If both the gamete will fuse and develop into zygote here, that zygote develop into embryo here. Now this is the first event, meiosis, and this is called as a fertilization. Clear? In apomixis, straight away this diploid cell develop into zygote or embryo without following the meiosis and without carrying out the fertilization. This bypass, this is called as a apomixis. The ultimate product of this one is the diploid only. Clear? It will not follow the meiosis also, fertilization also. So simply in examination, they are going to ask, define apomixis. Apomixis means formation of seed without following fertilization. Clear? So either the diploid egg develop into seed, otherwise nucellus develop into seed one. So typification is very complex. So in that one, the apospory is there, apogamy is there, then diplospory is there, agamospermy is there. So different types are there. So we will cover later on. So that is not a matter of scope. So this is about the apomixis. Now one more topic is there, that is the polyembryony. What happens if you take the orange? In this case, this is the actual embryo, yes, which is a product of fertilization. In this embryo sac, along with that actual embryo, some embryo is there. If the embryo sac possesses more than one embryo, then that phenomena is called the polyembryony. This is the actual product of fertilization. This is a diploid. And sometimes this antipodal cell, so these are the antipodal cell. Here, nucellus cell may be there. Sometimes synergid is there. Sometimes embryo develop from this antipodal cell. Sometimes nucellus develop into embryo. Synergid may develop into embryo. So based on the involvement of other cells, sometimes the cells of the embryo sac develop into embryo, otherwise nucellus cell develop into embryo. Polyembryony means the presence of more than one embryo in the embryo cell. That is a polyembryony. Clear? So the polyembryony and importance of apomixis we will cover on the same board with a short pause. Yes, students. Apomixis means formation of seed without fertilization. Yes. Now one more definition. Formation of fruit without fertilization is called as parthenocarpy. So that is also without fertilization. The formation of seed is called the apomixis. Formation of fruit without fertilization is called the parthenocarpy. So this seed embryo develop from either from the diploid egg, either from the nucellus cell. Both are the diploid. In this case, meiosis is missing, fertilization is missing. That's why it is a type of asexual reproduction which mimic the events of the sexual reproduction. Clear? Now, in this case, if we take the nucellar case, extra embryos are formed. The polyembryony means occurrence of more than one embryo in the same embryo sac is called as polyembryony. So this is the embryo sac. Yes. So if you take the normal case, so these are the antipodal cells. Yes. This is surrounded by the nutritive tissue, that is the nucellus one. This is the egg, and just beside to this one synergid is there. These are the filiform apparatus, and this is the nucleus one. This is also synergid. Center cell contain two polar nucleus. So after fertilization, this turn into primary endosperm cell, develop into endosperm. Here, sometime the actual embryo develop from egg one. It is the product of sing egg. This is the actual embryo. Clear? Sometime the nucellus cell, some of the nucellus cell will produce the embryo, Sometimes synergid develop into embryo. The synergid will develop into embryo, and even antipodal cell is also responsible for the development of embryo. That's why the occurrence of more than one embryo in the same embryo sac, that is called the polyembryo. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called the polyembryo. Now, ploidy of this embryo may differ. For example, if the embryo develops from the egg after fertilization, this is a diploid. If the embryo develops from the synergid without fertilization, that is a haploid in nature. If the embryo develops from the antipodal cell without fertilization, that is also haploid in nature. If it is developed from the nucellus cell, the nucellus cell is the extra embryo sac one, that is a diploid in nature. The ploidy may vary. So this is seen in case of even mango and orange. Clear? So these are the 1 mark question. Apomixis and the polyembryo, both are related to one another. Clear? Now next, what is the importance of apomixis? Importance of apomixis. This is important topic. Importance of apomixis means recently, 1960 onwards, due to the population explosion, the demand for the food increases. Yeah, to fulfill that demand, so almost research and development is going on the agriculture field and the horticulture field one to develop the hybrid variety. That's why green revolution occurred. Clear? We develop the hybrid rice, hybrid wheat, even the hybrid fruits. Everything is hybrid. Whatever the food now we are consuming, most of they are hybrid one. Clear? Hybrid seed means they are a product of sexual reproduction after carrying the artificial hybridization by selecting the two desirable parent. So both the characters are combined in the one hybrid one. So hybrid seeds are developed. So the hybrid seeds are used continuously. But what is the drawback of this hybrid seed means, if you collected the seed from the hybrid seed, clear, and if they are used for the agriculture purpose, if they are sown in the next season one, sometime the characters of the hybrid may segregate. That is a drawback. It will not retain for the longer generation. The character, because the desirable character which are present in the hybrid seed, they segregate, so the same character will not be produced in the next generation. So that is a drawback. If we use this apomixis technology in production of hybrid seed, what happens? Apomixis means the production of seed without fertilization. It is also diploid. Clear? Seeds are the product of fertilization. So to carry out the artificial hybridization, it is a time consuming and it is a very tedious job. We have to wait for the longer period to get the desired product one. So what are the drawback means? Importance of hybrid means, so production of hybrid seed is time consuming process. And costly also. Here, so the production of hybrid seed is a time consuming and very costly. That's why if you go through the if you want to purchase the hybrid seed, the farmers have to pay the heavy amount for the hybrid seeds one. So it is a costly process. Here, what is the drawback means? The characters or the features may segregate in future progeny. If you use the hybrid seeds one, in some cases characters may segregate. They will not remain together only. They segregate and they move to the next generation. So that's why future generation is not similar. So that's why research is going on. If apomixis, if the apomictic seeds are apomictic hybrid seeds produced, and you understand, apomictics mean which are not followed by the fertilization and they are also hybrid. If the apomictic hybrid seeds are produced clear? So this seed can be used for the many years, for the longer period produced. Farmers can be use this seed for longer period. But what is the drawback in the hybrid seed means segregation of character. If you take care of this one, if you produce the apomictic seed one, and if the characters are not segregated for the longer period, so this is a boon for the agriculture sector. So that's why research is going on to produce the apomictic seed one. So that's why research going on to understand the genes of apomixis. So which are the genes responsible for the apomixis behavior, means for the production of seed without fertilization, and combining apomixis features in hybrid variety. Suppose if the seeds are produced without following the fertilization, if they contain the desirable character and if they not segregate this character one, then these seeds can be used for the longer period. Yeah, that's why research and development is going on to carry out the study to understand the proper behavior of the genes which is responsible for the apomixis, and if these genes are combined with the hybrid character one, then the large amount of seeds can be produced, then the cost of the seed can be reduced. So it is a advantage in the agriculture sector. So this is about the apomixis and polyorganic, and this is the end of second chapter. Clear? So just go through all videos what we covered in the last 12 to 13 videos one. So listen properly, revise properly, and make perfect of this chapter one. So this is an easy chapter. Yeah. So again we will meet in the next video by starting the new chapter one. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye.